Hey again everybody, Cidious StarCraft here for another StarCraft 2 commentary. We will be playing on the map Flag Pits here, and it's going to be a mirror matchup. Protoss versus Protoss. Top left corner, or top, just top, 12 o'clock position. Cidious, playing as the red Protoss. My opponent directly across from me, down 6 o'clock position. Minch, playing as the blue Protoss. Now, I decided to cast this because I haven't casted too many PvPs, and I finally was, as the name suggests for this video, able to get something that I was just been trying to just have a little fun with. Yeah, there's some seriousness when I play the game, but for the most part there's a lot of fun involved. I like to just enjoy what's going on and try to do new builds, try to have some fun with it, like I said, but I did something a little different in this particular map. As the name of the match suggests, you will soon find out what that might be. It does end up going a pretty long game here. A lot of times the Protoss players Protoss match, they're pretty quick. Usually one will go 4-gate or both go 4-gate. It depends on their micro ability and where they might have their reinforcements coming in at. Or it could go into a Robo style game when you get the War of the Worlds machines, the Great and Wonderful Colossus. Some of the best units in the game, in my opinion, if you know how to use them. Every unit, of course, is situational, but you know, it depends on how you use them, and if you use them properly, it might work to your advantage. So it looks like our gateways are going down roughly about the same time. His is actually a slight bit ahead. That's because I have a slightly higher harvester count. One of my harvesters is about 6-7 seconds, maybe a little more, 10 seconds ahead of one of his. Of course, there I go. We're dropping my gateway, and I get a simulator. I like to drop my simulator so it spawns roughly the same time as your gateways. You see that? Keeps your build about the same, keeps it under control, and then of course you drop your cybernetics core. Debating on trying to do some more live casts. It can be kind of tough, but I was thinking maybe just cast it live but not commentate it, and then go back into the video, record the video with commentaries after it. Just because it's sometimes a little difficult to commentate and play at the same time. Although I'm the greatest StarCraft player. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just messing with you guys. You can tell from a lot of the noobish, retarded things I do that I do screw up every so often. Not perfect, but I try to do my best. As you can see, I'm trying to get a good scout with this probe. I'm going to pull him out now because I figured about this time he would actually get a stalker, but for some reason decided to get a zealot. So a little bit different there, and a little bit different choice. Both of us are warp gates are on our way. I decided to get an early robo phase. He's on 1 gate, and at the immediate moment, and that's all he has. Starting to bank up a little resources, so I don't know if he's going to go for a fast expansion or do 1 gate into expansion or something like that, because he's banking a lot of resources. It looks like he's actually going for a robo as well, but as you can see on the time delay, he's much further behind, about 30 seconds behind mine, so that's a big difference. Every second counts in StarCraft if you guys have played this. I just brought my zealot over because I was going to try to do a little bit early pressure. And saw, of course, when I was walking around that he did have his zealot out. Figured he had some type of attacking unit out, and didn't want to go up there and just sacrifice the zealot. Now it looks like he did actually supply block himself. That's never good, especially since my mistake. I thought he chrono boosted his Nexus, but chrono boosting that warp gate technology, got to get that out. It looks like now he has 2 gates. I have 3 in my robo. You can barely fund off the 3 gates in a robo. You can't always fund off of them. It's like the amount of minerals you get, investing gas you get. 1 round of units, you can fund them all, and then 1 round of units, you can fund only 2 gates in the robo. That's usually how it works when it comes to the amount of resources you have. But either way, I of course have my rally point set for my observer. One of those key items to get, especially in Protoss versus Protoss. You want to know what they're building, you want to know what you're going up against, and you need to know what units you need to prevent yourself from dying. Harvester count, I'm slightly ahead, 25 to 23, constantly producing them. As I say that, I forget to produce another one, but as you can see, I get one right back. Looks like he might have actually stop production of probes for the moment. And it's something you really never want to do. It's only 50 mineral, and of course having out does help, but you know, eventually when you get your expansion, you can transfer them over. So he gets an observer out as well. I do catch a glimpse of it. I'm trying to chase it down with my own, and it looks like he's going to try and at least get out the back door before I'm able to get over there and actually do any type of damage to him. Do get one shot, two shots, and I probably could get another shot off there, but that's a little it's a little OBS on OBS action here. Observers, we rarely see them attack each other, of course, because they can't, but they can at least scout each other so that your team can do that. Supply discrepancy 53 to 43, so I got 10 supply on him, and I got a lot higher harvesters, 5 supply of harvesters more, as opposed to what he's got. It looks like, though, he's just sticking with what he has here. I opt to actually spend, since I got a little bit extra money, on getting a Nexus. I have a feeling I might be ahead just because, I don't know. No real reason, I just think it, and I was praying that I was, because if he moved out and I wasn't ahead, he would definitely catch me off guard and kill the rest of my units. I do finally end up trapping this OBS, a couple stalkers over here to pick it off, and do end up getting rid of that. So he was not able to actually scout my expansion, which is definitely a plus. As you can see on the mini map, he doesn't see anything there. I, of course, just trying to hold off as long as I can until I get this up and running, and then of course I'll have a lot higher income, and I'll do a lot better in that regard. He did go ahead and put a pylon in the low ground, so he can warp in units down here to offset it. But it appears he's actually doing a one-base robo and trying to get in some Colossus here real quick. Does, of course, have the robotics bay in the back, but has not worked on the robo facility. I do end up bringing in yet another observer, which is not here yet. But I do end up scouting that and see, hey, I definitely need to drop my robo facility if that's the case. But opt for a Twilight Council. This early against a Colossus army, it might actually work for me, you know. There's where my little scouter comes in. Scout, and I'm like, oh no, and then he's got an observer, and I lose mine. We both lost an observer so far. Units lost tab, showing almost the same. He's lost one extra probe, actually. And it looks like he is going to be working on the, you know, the thermal lance finally for his upgrades for his Colossus. Army size, though, is identical, but keep in mind, he's got that one Colossus working on a second one here. And if he waits until he gets and pushes out with thermal lance, I'm not going to have a single Colossus out on the field yet. So I know he's got Colossus. I'm trying to pump out Immortals. I'm definitely working on the Zealot legs to try to surround the Colossus as soon as I can. I do unfortunately end up supply blocking myself right as I'm trying to get yet another Immortal out. But keep in mind, I am now actually, he's trying to scout with one of those Zealot. I'm actually now on 2 base to his 1. So he definitely needs to make something happen. There's a timing window of just a few moments right now. Harvester count, I'm much higher ahead, so technically he should have a bigger army if he spent his money, that is. It looks like he's supply blocked as well, dropping down a couple pylons. He should move out in just a few moments before I get this up and running. If I get this up and running fully saturated, there's almost no way he can come from behind and catch up to me. But unfortunately for him, he's sitting back a little bit longer. I think he's trying to get a couple more waves of units. I, of course, am sitting on this watchtower, loving the watchtower, so I can see, especially on this particular map and the positions that we are, he's almost guaranteed to go across the middle and come up that way. Not necessarily, but the odds are pretty good that he will. Looks like another observer coming up to the side here, trying to scout for any possible expansions I might have. It appears that he is coming right over to my expansion that I have over here. So he's going to know I have it. He's going to know that he needs to push in. His expansion just now getting underway, way behind. The longer he sits back and the longer he waits, the more units I can build, the faster I can build them because I can get more money. As you can see, I'm working on my own Colossus now. Got one more Immortal just because it was already being produced before I dropped down the Robo Bay, so decided to keep making it. I do see, of course, he's pushing out. He's got a few amount of stalkers